Hi, this is Jim Robinson with 2internetmarketing.com. That's the number 2 with the internetmarketing.com. Now in this lesson we're going to build on what we've learned so far in our first 3 HTML videos. I added a few new things to our page here. Now the first thing I added new was on this, we have some text that we had, and I did add a little more text here. Instead of just this is text, I put this is more text too. And then I put font color equal red, and then a closing font tag. So that's going to make this text red. Now the other thing you can do is you can put the number code in here, or the hexadecimal code, and for red it's CC0000. Now either one will work. Before you used to just have the hexadecimal codes, but they've gotten it more and more on these browsers to where you can put color, just the name of the color in. And then for the HR, we had the horizontal line, and then I put a horizontal line but with a width. So what this does is this is, I mentioned in the last video that you can make your horizontal line any width you wanted to, or any size basically. So this is the code for that. HR width equals 50%, and then you close the tag like I mentioned before. And then we'll see how that looks on the when we refresh this page here. And then I also put a font size equals +2, and that's got to be in quotation marks. And then you do have to close that tag, so that's with the braces and then the slash font. And then coming further down the page, I added where we could do the ahref Google and then the image source and then the closing A. So this is now a clickable Google link. And then here's our just Google image source. So that's just the image source. That's just the image on the page. And that doesn't have to have a closing A at the end. As I mentioned, I'm not 100% sure why, but that's the way that works. Now here's the thing about HTML. Some of these things you can make mistakes on, and it won't matter in the browsers too much. Most browsers, if you put like a closing A on this, it would still show it. So I'm going to try to show you things as much right as I can, and I might even be making some mistakes because I'm always trying to improve on this myself. But most of this stuff, as far as I know, is the right way to do it. And if you make a few minor mistakes, like say the HR code, for example, for the horizontal line, if you forget to close it, it will still make a horizontal line. But the right way to do it is to close it. So again, try to do things right as much as you can, and you will make some errors. Everybody does. And then as you learn more, you can cut down on your errors. Again, I think like even this, for example, another example, if you put the center here and didn't close it, it would probably still center this, and it wouldn't do anything different. But the center tag is supposed to be closed. So again, we want to try to do it right if we can. So we have our Google image source here, and then below I centered the Google image source. And all you do is just, the brackets, and write the word center and then the slash center to close it. And again, these things, you can see this is pretty much self-explanatory on a lot of this stuff. That's one thing about HTML. It's kind of fun because you can just kind of say to yourself, well, what would be the code to center this? Well, it's obvious, center code, the center tag. So now we got our unordered list above here. Now I did an ordered list below. In the unordered list, what that does is that puts the dots in front of the list. The ordered list puts numbers in front of the list. So all you do for the ordered list is just change the U to an O and then close it down below. So now we're going to see those changes we made, and then we'll recap. So then I'm going to hit Save Changes, and then we'll go look at the page and see how different it looks from last time we saw it. That should be the page. Now I'll hit refresh, and okay, now remember I put font color around this text to be red, so that made this red, and that code is just well, we'll look at it when we go back to the next page. And then here's our first horizontal line we did. Then we did a horizontal line with a 50% width, so this made a 50% width. This is 50% of this line. Then we did a font size +2, so this font is bigger than it was on our original page. This is +2 font. Then we did now here's the Google with the ahref in front of it. So this is a clickable link, and you can see that because when you put the mouse over it, the hand comes up to show you that it's clickable. Now here's our image source, and this is the one without the closing A on the end. And that just, whenever anything, any code you do when you put it on your site, it will just align it to the left. That's just like default. So then if you want to put it center, you got to put the code to put it center, and this is what we did on this one. We put the center tags around this image, and then it came up to the center of the page. Now here's our unordered list, and with the dots in front of it, and then we just basically did the exact same list below, but instead of unordered list, we put ordered list, OL, and then it came up with numbers in front of it. So if you like the look of that, you do that. So now let's go back to the site and look at the page, and then maybe we'll change a few things and come back and see how it looks. Let's see here. Okay. Now again, here's how I made the text red. I put font color equal quotation marks, and then that's the hexadecimal code, and we're going to just put red in here this time when we look at it to see that that works. And then we have to close that font color with just the slash font. As far as I know, you don't have to put slash font color, you just put slash font. I might have to look at that and update you in a new video, but I think just slash font works on that. Now here is our HR width with 50%. Let's change that to, like, say 20%. We'll see how different that looks in the next one. So again, it's just the HR tag, but we're just adding width equals, and then in quotation marks 20%, 50%, 75%, whatever you want to put in there. And then this is a self-closing tag, so that closes there. Now on this is more text. That showed bigger text when we went to the page. Now font size equals +2, and then in quotation marks, and then we had to close that tag slash font. And what we could do here is we could go font size equal plus, well, we don't want to go too big. I was going to go like +10, but that would probably take out the whole page. We'll just go +4, and then we go down a little further, and I guess there's really not a lot more we could change to see on the other page. So now we're just going to save this. Oh, I know what else I was going to show you. Remember when I wrote this is text, this is more text, and it just came out in a line. Now the way you can get those to where it doesn't go straight across is you can do the BR tag, which is a line break tag, and that's a very important tag too, and that's a self-closing tag. So you go BR and then you close it, and this will break this from being one straight line across, and it'll put these on top of each other. Now again, this break tag, if you didn't put the closing tag, it would still work, but again, that is one that you need a closing tag. So let's hit save changes, and let's see how this looks. And then there was one more thing I think I was going to show you, but we'll add that. Now we'll refresh, and okay, now you can see that this, instead of going straight across, this is text, this is more text, it put them on top of each other. That's because of the line break tag, the BR and then the close. Now horizontal line, we changed